I know you won awards. What's it? Last year or year before last?
2014, 2024.
Yeah, you
ago.
won. I think 2 awards.
2 awards. Yeah.
Yeah. Tell us about that.
Okay, so because of the whole, so I'm a very strategic person. Normally, I don't say much. Okay, I do say much. Yeah, I talk a lot, but I also plan a lot. All right. So and usually I cover my plans with jokes and all of that. You say, oh, they got not serious. But before you know, my plans always come to fruition. It happened in 2024, and it just happened last week. In 2024, I knew I stood a very good chance of winning the new artist of the year, but I knew I had very strong competitors. Now, so when Barsee called my name in that stuff, an opportunity presented itself to me, because at that point I actually wanted to choose peace. I said, okay, no problem. I call your name a song. He made Crime Watch 1. And I said, okay, it's a response to Rest in Pieces. If anyone drag me, I think he said I was I think a Tesla robot, something I think he said. And if anyone was dragging me, I'm like, huh, okay, no problem. I'll look for it. That won't. But then 7 months later, right around the time where voting was supposed to start, he decided to call my name again in Crown Watch 2. Now, I could have let it slide, but I said no. And I know how to use people's hate to my advantage. So I said, okay, let's do it. I call your name a song, and you responded. So say you call my name your song, I will respond. Under any other circumstance, I would never have responded. I would have let it slide. But that was a voting period, and I saw an opportunity to just shut them up once and for all. And so when he called my name that Friday, my friend just texted me, he said, oh, go look on Barsee page and check. And I said, bro, what wrong with you guys? It's been 7 months. I thought we're done with this, And I wanted to let it slide. I said, no. So I told him, I said, if they may actually release this song on my name inside tomorrow, I'll respond tomorrow. He said, you joking? I said, I'm coming to the studio tomorrow. And so that night, I wrote the reply. And I went to the studio Saturday because he was dropping it Saturday afternoon. So as soon as he dropped it, I just told him, I said, made a flyer for the song. And I posted it 1 hour after he dropped the song. And I gave him the reply that night. And the whole country was shocked. So at that particular time, the entire public was already on my side. So there was no way I was going to lose the new artist of the year now. Because people like controversy. Mm-hmm. They like negativity. They like to see two people going at each other. And I knew that if I was going to do this, I had to be prepared for a very brutal response. But fortunately for me, his response was weak. So I saw a chance to just enter and finish it. And we know how all that ended. And he said he might die, all that in it. And at that point, it was already over. And then when he posted that he lost his mom, it was another opportunity for me. And so I decided to sympathize with him. And by the time I sympathized with him, everybody was on my side again, even some of his fans. Well, oh, but this guy has and I do actually have a good heart, because I feel like it's not worth it. If he actually lost his mom, it's not worth it. Somebody can lose a man when they still go drop this song for him. It's not that deep for me, And so at that point, it was already finished. And so I won those 2 awards, the New Artist of the Year and the Hip Hop Artist of the Year, but it was too clear. It was very clear. I was a little skeptical about a new artist because I had some very strong competitors. I had Little Mo, I had Floxy, I think I had Rhythm Willie, and Wonder Girl. I think Big Mercy were 5 in that category. Yeah, so it was tough, But for the Hip Hop Artist of the Year, it was very clear. I knew I was going to win at least 1 award. And that night, I was actually sick when they were having the award show, so I didn't go. And so when they announced Hip Hop Artist of the Year, Mr. Church, I was like, I was expecting that. But then when Jay called me, he said, oh, my man, you won the other one. I said, oh, okay. And I was actually surprised, because I knew there were other people who also deserved it. And I told Rhythm, and I think the day before, I said, my brother, anybody win, they deserve it, because I'm very Hazun. He said, my brother Hazun. And so that was it. But when I won the awards, people came out and started saying, but I don't really care about people's opinion, because I know myself. So I don't really I don't let things like that get to me and all of that. And it's already etched in history. They can't erase that. So